Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Billy and Nick are here. Bubby is on vacation this week. He's enjoying Labor Day with his family, so hopefully he'll be back to recap week one with us. Nick, we're going to dive right into it and recap our fantasy draft. We're going to grade the other teams. We explained our picks on our last episode, so now we're going to try and explain everyone else's picks while they're not here to defend themselves.
That's fair. We're going to give nice, tight opinions. Opinions. Everybody's got them. And these are just our opinions on it, on how we feel our other castmates does. And hopefully you guys can use this for your drafts this weekend coming up, because football season's like 6 days away. So let's get after it.
All right, we're going to start with the Tampa Bay Punishers. They've won a couple championships in this league. They drafted third overall. They started out with Austin Eckler. Then they took CeeDee Lamb. Went back to the running back pool in the third round with Travis Etienne, Justin Herbert in the fourth round. Fifth round, Tyler Lockett. Sixth round and seventh round, a couple of Jaguars with Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. Brandon Cooks in the eighth round, and the recently placed on injured reserve Jeff Wilson in the ninth round. How do you feel about Eckler at number 3?
Eckler at 3, I'm good with that. I think Eckler is good points. The problem this year is that last year Herbert, Keenan Allen was kind of dinged up, and Mike Williams, he's boomer bust type of guy. Now they have that rookie this year, and then the other two guys are back. Austin Eckler's hit, and then they have a new offensive coordinator who's going to focus on stretching the field like that he did in Dallas. So Eckler's catches might go down, but the running lanes will still be there for them. I think the pick for me that kind of like I'm circling like yeesh is the Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram. That's tough because you're getting a third wide receiver and then Evan Ingram, which, geez, I can't say enough bad things about that man. So I'm not feeling that. But Brandon Cooks is a solid pickup because he is sold in on the Dallas Cowboy offense, getting CD and Brandon Cooks. So that's an interesting perspective there.
I love CeeDee Lamb. The Herbert Eckler stack could be huge for him. Who knows how many balls Eckler's going to catch? It's going to be a lot, though. Tyler Lockett, at the end of the year, his numbers are always there among like the top 20 receivers, but his point swings are so ridiculous where he'll get like 5 points a game 3 weeks in a row, and then boom, he'll hit you with like a 30-point game. He's all over the place. He'll win a game for you, but he'll also disappear for weeks on end.
Absolutely. Because he'll have them games where he'll have 3 catches for one. He had a game last year, 3 catches for 140 and 2 tutties. So you're like, come on now. But then he'll have another game. DK takes off and he just lost. And I don't know how old Tyler Lockett is, but I'm kind of scared. Like he might be coming to this train might be coming to the end for him. But overall, it's a pretty decent draft. I liked later on he did get Damian Harris and Jacoby Myers. Just as some insurance policies, and he had Tyler Higbee as an insurance policy for Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
So that's well, I like that. I'm circling that.
The tight
like
end
that's...
he took. Yeah, that's a damn good point. The tight end he took 6 rounds later from his starting tight end might be the better tight end here. So what's your grade on the Tampa Bay Punishers?
I'm gonna give it an A. Justin Herbert, like you said, the Herbert. Austin Eckler connection might be pretty solid. CeeDee Lamb's good for 7 touchdowns this year. I think Christian Kirk's good for another 4. Brandon Cook's probably another 4 as well. Everywhere he goes, he succeeds. His man's been traded more than anybody in the league history. So, yeah. Next team, we're going to Stealing in the Wins.
Yeah. Yep, Stealing the Wins. Christian McCaffrey in the first round. Matthew Berry's ride or die for this season. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the second round. He's a Steelers fan, obviously. You could tell by the name. He got Najee Harris in the third round. Chris Godwin out of Penn State. You know these Pennsylvania guys love their Penn State boys. Darren Waller, 5th round. That's a steal. he might be the top tight end this season. Khalil Herbert, who I had my eyes on, he's due for a breakout year. Aaron Rodgers, he's always steady, whether you like him or not. 7th round here. Samaje Perine, he's going to get some carries in Denver. Anybody? You wanted Chris Godwin, right?
Yeah, I was eyeing Godwin because Godwin's going to take over the number 1 spot in Tampa. You kind of feel it coming. He's 27. He's 27 now. So Mike Evans is 30. So he's going to be aimed, I think, in the short route way that the Baker Mayfield be throwing. I think that kind of works for him. Najee Harris pick is kind of a pick for me because I feel he'll be all right, but Najee is getting beat up. He's being ran into the ground, so I'm going to go Darren Waller, top tight end this year. You absolutely could that could be absolutely true with the targets he'll be getting. Aaron Rodgers, the 7th round, is practically a steal because if he is he's MVP Rodgers this season. You got a top flight quarterback that's going to give you 35 to 40 touchdowns. Elijah Mitchell in round 11, is he still in the league? Apparently he is. He'll probably get touches because people in Niners think he's got banged up a lot. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he has McCaffrey. He was smart here, and he took McCaffrey's handcuff.
Yeah, late Elijah Mitchell because they all get banged up. And then Matthew Stafford as an emergency quarterback all the way down the bottom. So that's interesting as well. So, pretty solid. I'll give this looking at the Patriots defense as well. KJ Osborne, a Minnesota wide receiver. He's their slot wide receiver, so he's going to get some good targets as well. I think this draft, good A. It's a solid A. I like the Brown pick, the Godwin pick, the Waller pick. You know what I mean? If you hit on a good tight end, you're going to win some games.
Yeah, he's got some good running backs here with McCaffrey, Harris, and Herbert. Harris, even though he's been underwhelming to me in reality and in fantasy, but he gets straight-up volume. Like, they just give him the ball whether he does anything with it or not. So we're going to move on to Sweetness 34. This is Heater's team. He went rookie Bijan Robinson, number 5 overall. Justin Fields, who he sniped from me in the 2nd round. Mr. Reliable, Aaron Jones, running back from Green Bay in the 3rd round. He also sniped me in the 4th round with Mike Williams, big target with the Chargers. Often injured, though. George Kittle, 5th round, San Francisco tight end. A lot of mouths to feed in San Francisco. Juju Smith-Schuster with the Patriots this season. Not sure they're going to be able to throw the ball at all. Hollywood Brown in the 7th round. Ezekiel Elliott. The Patriots, new running back, they will be running the ball this year. I could see him having a bounce back. He also took Brock Purdy in the 11th round to back up Fields. Yeah, how do you feel about Heater's draft this year?
I'm looking at a draft here. I'm just not a big believer in Robinson. People are comparing him to like the next. He's LT, touchdown Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not sold on it yet. But Justin Fields, he don't win games, but he be getting them points. So you can't be mad at it. It's the game's fantasy football. He's gonna get some points. Aaron Jones, I'm not sure how he's gonna do this year because with the new offense. I feel like the quad father's Dylan is going to maybe overtake him. Mike Williams is great. Juju Schuster, his ceiling is very low for me. I just feel like the Patriots offense,
he's got to play in the slot.
Yeah, Marquise Brown, at first I saw that and I was like, this is terrible. And then I was like, you know what? This might be okay. Because he might actually catch 90 passes this year, straight up. Because he's the only one next to
he's got no competition.
He has no competition for that spot, and he's a shifty wide receiver. So a lot of under routes, a couple of deep routes. Zeke Elliott is kind of a, just for the memories draft. We're drafting for the memories. Jordan Addison is solid. He'll be either the slot or the second wide receiver. That team rookie caught 100 balls last season in college. Nico Collins, sleeper pick. I like that. That's a nice sleeper pick right there because he could do something.
Fields is a huge breakout candidate for me this year. I said on our last episode I wanted him. Mike Williams, there's reports of him working out of the slot, which I want to see that because that
wait a minute.
would be ridiculous.
So let me ask you a question. Is Fields, let me ask you, is Fields a breakout candidate to win games or just for fantasy? Because for fantasy, he's already there.
100% for fantasy. Well, last year was like a taste. Like, you got a little taste of it last year because he was dinged up. The Bears had the worst coach in the league. They didn't have DJ Moore, who they have this year. Cole Kmet is another year more improved, entering his prime. Darnell Mooney should be better. He was a victim of the terrible offense that they were trying to run last year. Yeah, I could see a reality jump for him and 100% a fantasy jump for him. I just remember I thought about taking him number 1, but I didn't want to face a ridicule that would have come with it.
All right, I respect that. All right.
So what's your grade for Heater's team?
Heater's team, I'm giving it an A. Like I said, Robinson, at least vesting in the hype. I hear you. You have to do what you got to do, I guess. Justin Fields, like you said, great pick. Mike Williams, George Kittle's, I just don't like his value with Brock Purdy. But so he drafted Brock Purdy too, so why not? But Nico Collins, Marquise Brown, to me, kind of saves his draft. He has some good pieces. Elijah Moore, a little sleeper. Second guy to catch in Cleveland. So, yeah. The next team is Shaw Smash Hawk Kendrick.
Yep. So he got the first steal of the draft in Jamar Chase. When Heater took Bijan Robinson, Jamar Chase fell all the way to 6. I would have personally taken him at number 2 after Jefferson. He also got Josh Jacobs at number 21, who was, I believe, the number 1 overall fantasy running back last year in terms of scoring.
Correct.
With the Raiders. The Raiders have nothing. All they can do is just give the ball to Jacobs and throw the ball to Adams.
Absolutely.
There's like a two-man it's like a two-man duo squad. Deebo Samuel's interesting in the 3rd round. He got banged up last year. He's a horse. Rashad White, I had my eye on him. I'm sure you did too. TJ Hawkinson just got a monster contract from the Vikings, so they're going to try and feed him the ball this season. I love Terry McLaurin. He's one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL currently. He got him in the 6th round. He is banged up, though, with a reported turf toe. Dak Prescott is his quarterback in the 7th round. That's good value for him there. People seem to either love or hate him. I'm a fan. I loved him on Hard Knocks last season. He seemed extremely likable. Jamal Williams in the 8th round. This is big because Kamara is out suspended for the first 3 weeks. He also took Michael Thomas in the 9th round, hoping for a bounce back from him. I don't know if we'll see that or not. I've kind of given up hope. He's been irrelevant for 3 years now, but he was one of the best in the business prior to his injury woes. Geno Smith as his backup quarterback. That's huge. He was a top 5 quarterback last season in fantasy.
Yeah, the Jamar Chase. It's funny you like Jamar Chase. I would take him. I had the 2nd pick. I had the 2nd pick, and I didn't take him. Joe Burrow's back though, which is interesting. So there's good value there. You had to take him. You know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. I think the hype's getting to him though, because they're predicting him to be the offensive player of the year. And you understand his rookie season, he had like 1,700 yards. Am I right? Like 1,700 yards, something ridiculous. 15 or something. He had a lot of yards rookie season. So I don't know about all that. I don't think he replicate that because people are going to key in on him. Josh Jacobs, he got that 1-year contract. He's playing for his next one. All right. Deebo Samuel, I think his value when Brock Purdy arrived dropped a little bit. So I don't know how I feel about that. But this is where his draft turns around in my eyes. Like I said, Rashad White, he is the number 1 in Tampa. He catches out the backfield. He has nice cuts. He's going to be very solid point-wise. TJ Hawkinson in Minnesota, he's the 2nd option out there. Scary Terry, once he gets back with the new offense of the Panthers, they're going to make something work. Dak Prescott, I don't care if he's a nice guy or not. My man throws picks. However, my man throws for 300 yards a game too, so that's pretty solid. Jamal Williams, meh. I don't know. His value last year is being a vulture. I don't know if the vulture is going to happen right now. Michael Thomas, I wouldn't have done it. Michael Gallup's interesting as a person to have. DJ Shark, we're going to circle that one because DJ Shark is the second option in Carolina. He got second option in Carolina in round 12. You know what I mean? They're going to throw the ball. You know what I mean? Their coach is a quarterback. Frank Wright. You know what I mean? Even if it's a rookie quarterback, they're going to throw the ball. He's going to get quite a bit of passes this year because they're going to be playing from behind. Their defense
Yeah, they
is not
can't
great.
be worse.
Right. They're going to be behind, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities for this. That's kind of a strategy. If a team is too good, they're not going to be a lot of passes because they're going to be winning games, so they're going to run the ball. But if they're losing, well, now you got to throw the ball, and that's where you get all the opportunities. So I'm circling that, and Geno Smith's a nice backup. Nice backup for Dak. If Dak has a bad, bad matchup, you can throw Geno in, and Geno's safer. Geno only threw like 7 or 8 picks last year. So, I mean, he was very safe. And he threw for quite a bit of yards last year.
Yeah, he had a very strong middle of the draft.
Yeah, very much so.
But yeah, what's your grade for Will, Smash Hawk Kendrick?
I'm going to give it an A. It's very solid. Solid draft there. Like I said, at the beginning, getting Jamar Chase just there at number 6 is an A+ situation. You know what I mean? You fell into your franchise. It's like when the Chiefs got Mahomes. You know what I mean? Mahomes fell down to them. It's like, all right, we fell into our franchise quarterback for the next 15, 20 years.
It's like, you guys are really going to let me do this? Okay.
All right, well, I guess we will. Fine.
All right, so that moves us on to Dead Money. Freeman's team. He's a founding member of the league. He played it safe in the first round with Derrick Henry. He took Tony Pollard in the second round. Devonta Smith in the third round from the Philadelphia receiver. I have no issues with any of those 3 picks, but here's my first gripe. Amari Cooper, he's steady, but he's not anybody I'm interested in. I'm not too excited about Deshaun Watson either. DJ Moore, I can't believe he got DJ Moore after Amari Cooper. He took Cam Akers in the 6th round, who was kind of like last year's preseason darling, who fell on his face. Here's where he took his quarterback in the 7th round with Daniel Jones, who is a better fantasy quarterback than a reality quarterback. Still don't know what to expect from him. Brian Robinson, he sniped him for me in the 8th round. I think he's going to have a big year with the Commanders. They're going to want to run the ball. In the 9th round, he took his Daniel Jones insurance in the form of Anthony Richardson, a first-round pick that people are excited about for fantasy purposes. So he has 2 wild cards at quarterback, if you ask me. Zach Ertz, I don't know who's going to throw him the ball. He took him in the 10th round. You got any thoughts on Freeman's draft?
Okay, so with his draft, I got problems with it. So I have no problems with King Henry. He's very solid, and I think the Titans are going to run him into the dirt. Tony Pollard, for me, though, coming off an injury that happened in the playoffs, expecting to be fresh right from the get-go, is not it. And that man's never, ever had more than 15 carries a game.
With no help behind him either.
Well, he has Deuce Vaughn behind him. The 5'5" phenomenon. I'm
taller than him.
Right. And you're probably heavier than him too. So I don't know who's pass blocking. But I love that he got Devontae Smith at 3. So the idea he was able to wait there for Devontae Smith, and I'm higher on Amari Cooper than you are. I've had Amari Cooper. He's a steady worker. He's going to give you 900 to 1,000 yards. So you can't be wrong with that. DJ Moore,
touchdowns.
Yeah, DJ Moore, 5th round is a steal. That's
Total
just
steal.
like a diamond in the rough. I can't believe I let that happen. Cam Akers, I eyed him. I think Cam Akers will have a good season at running back. With the Rams reestablishing things, especially with Cooper Kupp, kind of injured a little bit. We don't know how it's going to play out yet. Then
he can't be worse than last season.
He can't be. But this is where his fantasy draft falls. The wheels come off. Daniel Jones, I get it. He could run. He is a bargain bin Josh Allen. I hear
Hmm.
you. Selling it. I'm selling it. Brian Robinson Jr. I don't know, man. And then Anthony Richardson. People think he's Cam Newton. I'm sorry, he's not Cam
Yeah,
Newton. He's just not. He's
I
no
got to see
different.
something first.
My man, Cam Newton was very accurate in quarterback. He's accurate thrower in college. He was a dominant one. War Eagle out there in Auburn. Trust me, my man in Florida was getting gassed, and he couldn't carry a team. Okay, so I
I
don't
would have
hear it.
taken Richardson, but way later than the ninth round.
Way later. Hell, like as a free agent pickup. Um, Zach Ertz, yeah, exactly. You phrased it properly. Who's throwing him the ball? I believe it might be Josh Dobbs or the other guy. I don't even know the other guys. Random white guy number 2. It's like on Madden where it's like just these like draft picks and like these names, these faces. Like who's this person? Yeah, guy number 2. Ken Barwell in Philly. Too many mouths to feed. Too many,
Gainwell.
Gainwell. Too many mouths to feed. There's too many mouths. You know what I mean? Got my
Yeah,
man DeAndre Swift there and all that. It's just too many
I
mouths.
got Penny, and I'm he's
Yeah.
like my fourth back.
Right. So it's like, golly, you know what I mean? A kicker before a defense is kind of weird behavior.
That's a good kicker though. The Bengals
Yeah.
offense.
You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes right there with Dallas head coach taking if Dallas doesn't this shit the bed this year.
As
So,
long as they're not playing prime time games, the Dallas coach is a good option.
and their first game's a primetime game. And so and they're in the last pick, Romeo Dobbs. I mean, picking up their slot receiver in Green Bay on a flyer pick is solid to me. So, if I had to give a pick, grade for this, I'm giving it a B minus. The Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson is just. I mean, I would. Hey, Danny Dimes proves me wrong and becomes a top 5 QB this year. So be it. But I just he just can't carry a team to me at all. And I think Tony Pollard as their second running back is kind of tough. But Cam Akers as a backup is pretty nice though.
Going running back in the first 2 rounds in 2023 is kind of bold. It's not something I was trying to do. So we're moving on to Mark Jones, the first ever champion of our league in 2008. He's got the Boy Scout trombones. Travis Kelce, first round. Full disclosure, we're recording this after the Thursday night kickoff game between the Chiefs and Lions, so he's already taken a hit with this one, at least for 1 week. Devontae Adams, second round. Solid pick. We'll see what Garoppolo does. Las Vegas is a 2-man show between Jacobs and Adams, and there's nothing else. Joe Burrow, third round. That's a you can't go wrong if you ask me. Deontay Johnson, he didn't catch a touchdown pass last season. Is that correct?
I think so, which is weird.
That's tough. Christian Watson in the 5th round. James Conner in the 6th round. DeAndre Swift in the 7th round. He's got some pass catchers here. Kelsey, Adams, Johnson. I'm expecting a big season from Watson. Connor is extremely steady, and they just have to give him the ball 40 times a game because they don't have a quarterback until Kyler Murray comes back. DeAndre Swift, like we said, the Eagles have too many mouths to feed. Another pass catcher for Jones here in the form of Jackson Smith and Jigba, the Seattle rookie. I heard a lot of hype on him this season between Metcalf and Lockett. Like, good luck trying to catch some balls. And I am not sold on Geno Smith. I don't care how good he did last year. I know he's not terrible anymore, but I'm avoiding at all costs unless I need a streamer for the week. 49ers defense is always a safe bet. Antonio Gibson in the 10th round now. Here's a steal. So the next 4 picks are total steals. Antonio Gibson, 10th round. Adam Thielen, the Panthers' number 1 receiver, in theory, in the 11th round. Raheem Mostert, who when we drafted Jeff Wilson, there were no injury reports on him, and now we know he's out at least the first 4 weeks. And the report on that wasn't even positive, where Mike McDaniel said like he expected him back at some point in the season. So who knows? And then Alan Lazard, Aaron Rodgers' darling from the Green Bay days, is his 13th choice here. So yeah, he's got some pass catchers.
Absolutely. His team is it's interesting because I think his team has major boom or bust potential. You're looking at it as like with Travis Kelsey. Like I said, we're recording this after the Thursday night game, so he didn't play that game, so that's interesting. Devontae Adams, it is a two-man show, but unfortunately, the most important person for Devontae is the quarterback, and he has Jimmy G throwing the ball. So what Jimmy G gonna do with this? Um, Joe Burrow was great. He was dinged up, but he's playing. The question is this, all right? Joe Burrow's got this big old contract too, this monster. He's the highest paid player in the league now, and now he's entering. He's missed all preseason again for the second year in a row. Last year he didn't play any preseason games, and the Cincinnati Bengals started off 2-3 because they were he was rusty and he was trying to figure his life out and all that jazz. So we'll see how that goes down. Yeah, Deontay Johnson didn't catch any touchdown passes last year. Kenny Pickett should be better.
Has to
Another
be.
year in the offense has to be same. Another year in the same offense, so you should be better, right? Christian Watson is a steal to me because Christian Watson is a better value than Deontay Johnson technically because he's a red zone threat. He's number one, and him and Love got a good relationship. James Conner is going to be a corpse by the end of the season. Arizona is the worst team in the league. They're actually on the clock as we speak. You know, they're waiting to draft a quarterback right now. Their offensive line's bad. Everything's bad. It's just bad. So, DeAndre Swift, again, let's talk about Malice feet in Philly. I'm just having a hard time with that. And he's not high priority. And he has an injury thing.
He's often injured also. Yep.
Right. Smith as a slot, it's kind of weird because is he going to take over Tyler Lockett's spot, or is Lockett going to try to keep his spot? This young man trying to come here and mooch on his territory. Niner defense is always solidish. We'll see how
I
it
believe
plays
they
out.
were the first defense to go in the draft, and this kicked off
Yeah,
a mass run on defenses when we
yes, it
drafted. It was
did,
like 10
and
and
it's like,
14
what
of
the
the next
hell?
picks were.
Antonio Gibson, I'm not as high as on him as you are as a Commander fan. You're much higher.
I'm a fan.
Adam Thielen, though, number one wide receiver on Carolina. That means he's getting most targets. That's all right, especially getting them in the 11th round. Raheem Mostert, supreme athlete, great guy. Gets hurt a lot. So we'll see how long he could stay up, right? Alan Zard, a flyer on him as well. I dig it. I like it. Browns head coach. That's ballsy. That's ballsy. That's ballsy. That's ballsy. I'm going to pick the head coach of the Browns. See,
I think he
okay.
dropped him already. Let's look. I think he dropped him already.
It's like that's what I'm like. I think the Browns head coach is going to give me what 8 wins, 9 wins, sir. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
Ballsy pick.
dropped him already.
I
He's on to the
mean,
Broncos head coach already.
I respect that. He's not a Browns fan. That's why I'm like, why'd you pick him up? Overall, I'll give it A though. It's solid draft though, because like the the potential of it being really good, especially with the late round guys carrying, could be big time for him.
Yeah, the 10th through like 14th round. He's got some high dollar lottery tickets. So we're moving on to Brandon. Mile High Salute. I think he's a 3-time champion of the league. Safe pick here at number 9 with Saquon. We'll see if he can continue his return to form from his nasty knee injury a couple of years ago. T. Higgins, number 18. Seems a little high, but he's safe. Back to the Bengals offense in the 3rd round with Joe Mixon. So Barkley and Mixon, that's a good duo for running backs. DeAndre Hopkins in the 4th round, I don't know. He's old all of a sudden, and Ryan Tannehill's a quarterback. Julio Jones went there and died. Brandon Ayuk in the 5th round. Potential breakout here. Deshaun Watson's his quarterback in the 6th round. He has a lot to prove to me. He was really bad last year. I stashed him on my roster for weeks, and then when he came out to play, he was virtually unplayable in terms of fantasy. Cortland Sutton, 7th rounder from Denver. Pat Fryermuth, breakout candidate here in the 8th round for his tight end. Kenny Pickett. It'd be interesting to see if he ends up playing Pickett more than Watson this season. Justin Tucker, I believe he was the first kicker taken in the draft. Best kicker in the league, maybe even league history. Eagles head coach, can't go wrong with a Super Bowl contender as your head coach. Greg Dulcich, I had him on my radar. He got him in the 13th round. Chase Claypool in the 15th round. That's interesting because the Bears offense, in terms of like what people expect from the Bears on a yearly basis, their offense has a little more expectations than in years past. So yeah, how do you feel about Mile High Salute?
His draft is interesting. So Saquon is a guy that I usually draft late in rounds, so I was going to eye him, but I had second pick, so why not? I missed him. But I would have drafted Saquon. T. Higgins has great explosion capabilities this year since he's playing for a contract next year on another team because Cincinnati's not going to pay him after they just paid Burrow. So he's going to go somewhere else on a nice contract. You know what I mean? Maybe to the Chiefs because they don't have the wide receivers for real. Joe Mixon. I don't know how I'm going to attach my wagon to that. Joe Mixon's kind of long in the tooth for him. What I think he's like fifth or sixth year in the league. Lots of carries.
He
Um,
kind of has Tyler Lockett disease in terms of where he'll disappear for like 3 weeks at a time, then he'll throw a
explode.
40-point on somebody. Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins is interesting because I was really poo pooing this, and then apparently he's like talking to the media, and he's like, I reach out to these teams, and these teams didn't want me, so he's like, he's on a revenge tour. So I've never seen somebody go to Tennessee and like they usually go there and die. I've never seen him go for a revenge tour, so it'd be kind of interesting to see him try to take people out.
What a
Brandon Ayuk,
shitty hand. What a
huh?
shitty hand DeAndre Hopkins has been dealt. You get drafted by the Texans, and you get
What?
traded to the Cardinals, and now you're on the Titans. Like,
All right, so hold on. First of all, not a shitty hand. For one, he went to Clemson, right? He had Watson throw him the ball at Clemson, whatever. Go to the Texans, had Watson throw him in Texans, whatever.
he was
Then
there for a while before
he
Watson got
demanded
there, right?
right, but he demanded a trade. He got traded because he wanted out because he
What
had
a
beef with
shitty
the
trade too, where they
yeah,
the
absolute
corpse of David Johnson.
yeah, for Corbin David Johnson, the ham sandwich, they traded him, whatever, to to Arizona. He goes there, which he knew this was wrong. You went to Arizona, dog. What do you think was going to happen? All right, and it was all bad times. He thought Kyler Murray was going to be the godsend for him. Wrong. And now he's there, and he's like, I got to get out of here because yeah, you're right. You need to get the fuck out of there. And now no one wanted you because you're old, and he got suspended some games. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's always something after another for him, man. And he's super talented when he
Yeah,
plays. Just it's just tough money.
yeah. It's more
Um,
of a credit to him. So if I view him as having a shitty hand dealt to him, it's a credit to him for how good he has been and the numbers he's been able to put up on these perennial shitty teams. Like the Titans are probably the most accomplished franchise he's played for in his career.
and he
You know
puts
what I
up
mean?
big numbers in losing seasons. It's never seasons like they do well. It's seasons when they don't do well. It's when he like explodes.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
all
good point.
garbage time. Back to what I was saying though, Brandon Ayuk, I think is a steal, fifth round. That's great. Brandon Ayuk is him. He has a good relationship with the quarterback there in San Fran. So he's been getting his targets have gone up since Purdy's been there. Deshaun Watson, the jury's still out. He's interviewing saying that I've evolved. I'm so much better now. Okay, we shall see, Deshaun. Stay away from the massage parlors. Colton Sullivan, Cortland Sutton. Sorry, he should be okay because well, there needs someone to throw him. Jerry Judy's kind of injured right now, so the ball didn't go somewhere. His picks in round 8 and round 13, he picked two mid-range tight ends. I just thumbs down this situation. I'm like
Yeah, but
he should
all the tight ends are mid range. Like any tight end
right.
from like 4 to 15 is basically the same person.
That's what I'm saying. So I think he should have just bailed on that tight end and still picked up more value at a skill position. Other than like instead of drafting Paris Campbell later, which he might not even get on the field. You know what I mean? Let's do somebody else instead. Kenny Pickett's solid. Another year in the offense. I think Kenny Pickett should be very solid there. I like Eagles head coach. Can't go wrong with that. That's guaranteed 10. And Chase, last pick, Chase Claypool, a flyer on a guide on the offense that he needs to be throwing the ball really, and the quarterback don't like throwing the ball, so it's worth a chance. Overall, my salute, I'm gonna give it an A. I think it's his early picks are so solid enough that it'll make up for like his tight ends. Like his tight ends, he'll have to be okay with some weeks his tight end will give him 0 points. It's gonna be zero.
Especially Dulcich.
Yeah.
Claypool is only owned in 17% of leagues. That seems a little low to me. But we're moving on to the first of the DeMoss brothers. Here's the Renegades of Funk. He went to Nick Chubb, 10th overall in the first round. He came up in our league. I got him at 26 overall in last year's draft. He was very good. And there's no Kareem Hunt to steal carries from him anymore. Jalen Hurts, I think he was the first quarterback taken in the draft. Solid pick. You can't go wrong here.
No, first QB in
DK
our draft was
Metcalf.
taken. First QB was taken with Josh Allen.
Okay, yeah, good point. DK Metcalf, third round. Damian Pierce in the fourth round. This could be a total steal. David Montgomery in the fifth round. So he now has 3 running backs, and they're all kind of like bulldozers, especially Montgomery and Chubb. Dallas Goedert, sixth round. That's a very good tight end. I try and get him every year. Michael Pittman in the 7th round. Sky Moore in the 8th round. Like I said, full disclosure, the Thursday night game has already happened. The Kelsey report came out, and our boy Dave played Moore over Pittman and took a 0. I
How
had
many how many
Moore on my.
how many targets did Sky Moore have that game?
Let's look. Moore is owned in 84% of leagues. That seems kind of high, but I guess
No,
if you're in the
it's
Chiefs
right because they
offense,
said he was out, so they're like the ball's gonna go float around. The question is, how many targets does Sky Moore have? I'll tell
3
you,
targets,
3. And how many passes he catch? Zero,
0.
zero.
So
And
I don't
like
think he'll be playing Sky Moore in week 2.
2 of them hit his hands directly. Directly. Like one could have won the game. It literally over the top, and he jumped up and it hit him in the head. It was something out of the movie Little Giants.
Oh no. Steelers defense in the 9th round. He's a Steelers fan, so I'm sure he'll be holding on to them throughout the season. Gabe Davis in the 10th round. He was a preseason darling last season. He is a deep ball machine.
Connoisseur.
10th round, you can't go wrong here. And he has to be better than last season, I would think. Devin Singletary in the 11th round. He's now with Houston. Daniel Carlson, he's one of my favorite kickers in the league. He's very solid, 12th round. 49ers head coach. That's pretty good. And an interesting pick in the 15th round with Russell Wilson. So between Hurts and Wilson, he could have 2 very good quarterbacks. I don't want anything to do with Russell Wilson, but I understand why other people do.
You know, this draft is interesting. Like he should change his team name to the Road Graders because it's just that's literally it. Like there's a lot of running back value here, and the wide receivers are like almost non-existent. With the idea that Nick Chubb, you said that Nick Chubb might be better because Kareem Hunt's not there to take his carries. I'm thinking Nick Chubb might take a dip because Kareem Hunt's not there to spell him because you can't get pounded in the dirt.
Is
Cleveland's
he in a
cold.
contract year?
Ooh, I don't know,
He has to be close.
but it's
Because
tough.
if he is, and the way running back is going, they might just give him 400 carries and be like, "Deal with it, Nick. Someone else can pay you after we've run all the tread off your tires."
Jalen Hurts, round 2 is very solid. DK Metcalf, he's all right. I think there might have been better values somewhere there, but I understand. Damian Pierce, great pickup for Houston. They're going to run the ball out with the rookie quarterback. David
Yeah,
Montgomery,
that's
he is
that might be
the
his best pick.
right. And he got in the 4th round. David Montgomery, he's the bell cow in Detroit. Even though the rookie is the shiny new toy, the shiny new sports car, ain't nothing like a nice SUV to get the family across town.
I have to call a timeout here. Also, so I saw people this morning making posts like, "Why don't they give Gibbs the ball more? When are people going to learn that rookie running backs never start out in the early weeks of the season as the go-to guys in their offenses? It's always like week 6 or 7 by the time they start getting more carries. And they brought in David Montgomery on a free. Of course, they're going to give him the ball 20 times before they start giving it to Gibbs.
Well, the people that are saying that are people that are in fantasy football, and they drafted him in the 1st round because they saw that other fans people talking about, oh, draft Gibbs in the 1st round, and people like me have been saying that Gibbs cannot be a 1st round draft pick because just like take checking notes, check the guy, the Dallas Cowboy running back, they're light in the ass Like they can't carry the ball more than 15 times. Like you see this Bleacher Report was like, he had 7 carries. Look what he did. He had that run one for 12 yards. Yes, he's a small, fast, quick running back. And let him get into some space. He can shake some people, do some spin moves, and you should be carrying the ball more than 10 times. I want you to catch the ball. He should touch the ball a minimum of 15 to 17 times total. I mean, passes and running a game. Keep him fresh because that little dude, he gets hurt, he's going to be done. You know what I mean? I would want him in more of a Reggie Bush role. You know what I mean? Like just catching little flats, whatever, and like shaking people, maybe occasional. He should never run up the middle. Never, ever. That's why Montgomery's there. Montgomery's role is to bang up the middle. You know what I mean? He's going to give you your tough yards. He's your goal line back. Gibbs ain't going to be your goal line back. They're going to be complaining about, oh, why don't you give the ball goal line? Because Gibbs too small, man. He's too small. There was a play that you literally saw him get blown up. The chief play, if you go on Twitter or X or where the hell you want to call it, and there's a chief play, the inside linebacker, Nick Bolton, runs up the middle and blows him up. He truly jumps forward to try to block him, and he gets knocked on his butt. And you saw the Lions QB, my QB, he ran to the roll to the right because he's like, oh shit, the pressure up the middle is like ridiculous. But I mean, it's just what it is. So there's people, a lot of people want to be draft nicks and think they know everything, and even we're trying to pretend to be like we know everything as well. But we're trying to be realistic about it. You know, what I mean, Dave Montgomery has him by 15 pounds. There's a reason why Gibbs is more agile and could squirm around, but Dave Montgomery is there's a reason why they free agency picked him up after like knowing good well they're going to draft a running back.
Yeah, and after letting Swift go just because they couldn't trust him anymore because he couldn't stay on the field.
Right, because he kept getting hurt. You know what I mean? But then Jamal Williams was there, and I don't know why they got. I don't even know why they got rid of Jamal Williams. That was strange because Jamal Williams was.
That was strange.
He's better than Montgomery, so I don't understand why they got rid of him. But you know, it's a business. But
it seems like he fit what they wanted to do to Williams. It seemed like he fit what the Lions wanted to do.
Yeah, and he's fun with the culture too, so it's interesting. Maybe David Montgomery's cheaper. Maybe he wanted more money. Who knows? He was a free agent.
Yeah.
Back to the schedule program. Dallas
Goddard.
Too many mouths to feed. I don't trust it. I'm telling you, man. Too many people in Philly. It's hard to decide for me. Michael Pittman Jr. All right, I'm good with this pick. Anthony Richards got to throw to somebody. Why not a guy who's like 6'3"? Sky Moore, as we elated earlier, I had him last year. I'm just not feeling good about him. Steeler defense, you really can't go wrong. TJ Watt's back. Gabe Davis, major boomer bust potential because he'll go games. He'll get like one catch for like 10 yards. And then he'll have another game where he has like 3 touchdowns and like 138 yards because he just squirts out there. Devin Singletary, nice handcuff. Daniel Carlson is a solid pick because in Oakland, they're going to kick a lot of field goals because, their offense is going to be bad. They're going to get a top 5 pick. They're going to draft a quarterback next year. Niners head coach, you're looking at 10 wins plus maybe. I like the Russell Wilson pickup. I had Russell Wilson last year, and he was hot garbage. Sean Payton, I don't like him, but I trust him as a head coach, and everything he says, hey, Russell, stop kissing babies and throw the football. I dig it. So overall, I know we took a little detour and everything, but as we get back, lots of running back value. So even if he feels that maybe after about 2 or 3 weeks that he feels his team is missing something, he could offer one of his running backs up.
That's the problem, though. Dave does not like to trade.
Ooh.
He never trades.
All right, well, we'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna give it an A because you got the value pieces. There's a lot of running room between Hurts, Russell Wilson, Nick Chubb, Damian Pierce, David Montgomery. There's a lot of running backs, but there's no explosive plays there, and that's the wide receiver. Because DK isn't that guy, and Pittman with the rookie quarterback could be kind of trouble.
So, did you give him a grade?
Yeah, I'm giving him an A though. I think it's solid because he has pieces to trade if he chooses to this year.
He ain't trading. But moving on to Slade and the New Day Co-op. He was at the draft. So me, him, and Freeman drafted together. He took Stefon Diggs in the first round, number 11 overall. Garrett Wilson, breakout candidate in the second round, number 16 overall. He's now playing with Aaron Rodgers. I've started watching Hard Knocks this weekend. Hard Knocks can make any team look fun, and likable. Garrett Wilson seems like a joy. to watch on the football field from what I've seen in Hard Knocks. Jamar Gibbs, 3rd round. We just talked about him. So that's his first running back. He took one running back in the first 7 rounds. His second running back is Jalen Warren in the 8th round, which I do like that pick, but not as a second running back. Mark Andrews, 4th round. He was a first rounder in our league last year by surprise. George Pickens, another breakout receiver here. So between Wilson and Pickens, yeah, that's good. Trevor Lawrence, I had my eye on. He got him in the 6th round. Quentin Johnson, another young receiver, rookie with the Chargers. Cowboys, he's a Cowboys fan, got their defense. Jets defense. Slade revealed to me during this draft he carries 2 defenses throughout the season, which I kind of get, but I couldn't manage it from how I run my rosters. But to be able to mix and match your defenses seems like a good strategy, even though I couldn't pull it off. Tua in the 11th round. This is a steal for me. I had Tua on my radar. I took a quarterback very early, so to see Tua last to the 11th round, I was like, did I need to take one that early? But we'll see. He has brain issues. Tyler Algier in the 12th round. He was very solid last year, also very quietly. Jaden Reed, I don't even know who that is. I assume he's a rookie with the Packers, and that's it really.
This guy's draft, I tell you, it's a good looking draft. Stefon Diggs, he should do well. If he doesn't do well, he's gonna end up demanding a trade. Garrett Wilson will do well because he has Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. So how about that? We talked about Gibbs earlier, so caution as you want. Mark Andrews, he's top 5 quarterback, tight end, in the league. So he should be great. There's a lot.
He's got to stay healthy.
There's a lot of mouths to feed now in Baltimore. Back when he was lighting it up, there was not a lot of mouths to feed, and it was him and another tight end. I forgot that guy's name, but he ended up getting.
I want to talk about Andrews real quick.
All right.
Last year, through the first 6 weeks, Andrew had over 20 points in the first 6 weeks. That's crazy for a tight end in our league.
But
then after that, it went 10, 25, 28, 3, 22, 23, and then just off a cliff after that due to nagging injuries and Lamar Jackson going down. So, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, but like I said, there's a lot of mouths to feed. Last year, their team offense itself wasn't as explosive, if you will. The pieces weren't getting there. So it'll be interesting to look at it. George Pickens, I love this pick. That young man catches everything that comes near him. Trevor Lawrence, I eyed him myself because I have Calvin Ridley, so I was really trying to tag that up, and it did not work for me. So that's interesting. Quentin Johnson, lots of wide receivers on the team. I think it's gonna be tough to work out with that mouths feed there. Jalen Warren, though, as his second running back, I would say that's his first bad move. You're banking on the backup. You drafted the backup without the original guy, and you're hoping that the other guy's gonna get hurt as like your 8th pick. That's tough. Idea of running up 2 defenses is crazy. It's even crazier when you think the Dallas Cowboy defense is going to be better than the Jets defense, because the Jets defense is going to be way better than the Dallas Cowboy defense. But I guess
Cowboys ranked 3rd last year.
This
in
year,
fantasy defense.
Correct. And this year on paper they've lost their free safeties. Their inside linebacker core is weaker, and their defensive line beyond Parsons is mid-round. You know what I mean? The big thing that carries their defense is look at their corners. One guy gets eaten a lot, another guy is like on the back end of 30. So you got to be careful, man. This is 17 games. All right. Jets defense is going to be solid because the head coach is a defense mastermind. So defense is always going to be great. So we'll see how it turns out. Tua at 11 is amazing. I was kind of shocked. I was like, damn, he's still available. I could have got Tua because I have Tyreek Hill. And I guess I was not thinking like that because I also don't trust him with that, what you call it, brain problems. Tyler Algier in round 12. He's Atlanta Falcons running back. I wouldn't draft him personally speaking, but he's money, and he might actually be the bell cow. They might actually run him and then run the rookie behind him, add more catching out the backfield and everything else because to keep the rookie fresh and let Tyler bang. Jaden Green, I've never heard of him, so I don't know how to feel about that. And Young Ho Koo, I mean, he's worth some points. He'll give you like a good 6 points a game. Overall, sick. I'll get an A. Like I said, he starts off very hot with Diggs and Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is legit like a first round draft pick, and he got it at 16. So you can't go wrong with that. And with George Pickens, Trevor Lawrence, they should do well fancy fives for him.
Yeah, that was Lawrence to Ridley would be a very good, like low cost potential breakout stack, combo. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can offer him a running back for Lawrence or Tua.
We'll see.
But yeah, on to Spawn's rhythmic clam toots. He took Cooper Kupp in the first round. That's already a dent. Josh Allen, the first quarterback in the second round. Ramondre Stevenson. He was in the news for something today. I think he missed practice. Let's look. Yeah, he's questionable going into the week. That doesn't mean anything, though. He has an illness, so I don't know. We'll see. Keenan Allen, Mr. Reliable here. He's getting old, though. Eventually, when you get old in the NFL, it is overnight. You have 1,000 yards one year and
Keenan
300
Allen's
the next
on
year.
the Mike Evans train. The difference between Keenan Allen and Mike Evans is that Keenan Allen has a major injury history. So like he's supposed to be up for a new contract next year too, and the Chargers like you're gone right. You're gone right.
Allen essentially missed the first 10 weeks of last season, but when he came back, he was very good. Double-digit points from weeks 11 through 18. Miles Sanders in the 5th round. That's pretty good value here. He's going to get the ball as much as they can give it to him. J.K. Dobbins, he's a good hard runner with Baltimore. They love to run the ball. They're going to have a lot of leads, I would think. A.J. Dillon, so he went 3 running backs in a row in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. Aaron Jones is getting a little bit up there in age, and A.J. Dillon, he's a big bulldozer. They're going to have to run the ball to protect Jordan Love, at least in the early part of the season. Cole Kmet, I had him in my radar. Got him in the 8th round. Bills' defense is probably pretty safe in the 9th round. Tyler Boyd, he's overshadowed by Higgins and Chase, but 10th round, you can't really go wrong. I like Rondale Moore, but the poor guy, poor receivers for the Cardinals. They don't have anybody playing quarterback until Kyler Murray comes back. Bills head coach in the 12th round. Super Bowl contender. Kirk Cousins in the 13th round. Great fantasy quarterback. Yeah, that's very solid pick in the 13th round.
Yeah, his draft is interesting. Cooper Kupp, like you said, is already he's gonna miss some 4 games. With nagging injury here. Josh Allen first QB off the board. That's bold strategy. Stevenson, he should be money with this new look offense. The Patriots actually have an offensive coordinator. Keenan Allen is consistent, but the problem there's a lot of mouths to feed now, and he's the old guy. So I'm scared unless he plays the slot and like eats up like Larry did, the value's gonna suck. Miles Sanders is a guy that I guess he was all right. He's gonna be all right, but he didn't really show me a lot in Philly. So he didn't. He's not a shake and baker. He's not gonna shake anybody. Like he's kind of a hard nosed runner. So I mean, we'll see how it turns out. Carolina for him, but it might be bad for him. I mean, he might have made a bad choice by the team. In contrast, J.K. Dobson, coming back to the offense, he kind of knows and do all this read run with Lamar is going to pay off nice. A.J. Dillon, you're right. The other running back is kind of long in the tooth. So AJ should be moving more to take the head role in this, the quad father. Cole Kmet, he should eat up because it's literally in Chicago, the offense has got to happen. You got DJ Moore and you got him. So do something. I think Bill's defense is going to take a step back. They lost their Tremont Edmonds, their Pro Bowl linebacker. Von Miller, he's supposed to be coming back, but I think he's going to start on the PUP, jumping in this league, whatever. So Buffalo's going to be trying to commit pressure but it's gonna be hard to get it from. Tyler Boyd's always gonna be there. Rondell Moore, I'm gonna call it. That might be a sneaky pick.
I like it.
Um, because Rondell Moore, we talk about, all right, he is on Arizona, and it's sad times. And Rondell Moore is like 5'7". He's a short little guy, but he is also a slot machine too. So if that quarterback can't throw far, he's going to look for the guy who can run a 3-yarder and turn and cut, and he can be a quick pass. And Rondell Moore might get like 6 or 7 catches a game. Just like he might get 6 or 7 catches for like 50 yards, but he's going
Yeah,
to get
he missed a
something
lot of
though.
time with it. He missed a lot of time with injuries last season, but in weeks 4 through 10, I'm not counting the week 11 game when he got injured again, but in weeks 4 through 10, double-digit games in 5 of 7 of those.
All right, see, that's value right there. That's some yards and that's some catching right there. Kirk Cousins, he's a what you would be your fantasy QB. He is Mr. Consistent. He's gonna give you between 20 to 30 points. Results may vary. Bengals defense is interesting because I think it's boomer bust. But yeah, overall, rhythmic clam toots an A. It might be A minus with Cooper Cup going on injury reserve. Your first pick, the guy who
Yeah,
jumped
that's
on injury
tough.
reserve is tough money. That's especially with the aging quarterback too. So who knows why he might come back, and if he's gonna come back from it, and he might not be as healthy as he should be, and it might be nagging all year. It could be
Their
tough.
season could be over by the time he even comes back if he's placed on injured reserve.
Jeez, not 0-4. How
Yeah, I want
fast?
nothing to do with the Rams.
How fast the toll for a Super Bowl is. All right, next.
Yep, this is our last team. This is the second Demas. He's ESPN Fantasy Football League is garbage. He got in a fight with the ESPN Fantasy Football website, so he's declared them garbage as his team name. AJ Brown, 13th overall. He had the last pick of the first round. Immediately at number 14 overall, he took Patrick Mahomes. To me, that's the safest pick in the draft, even though he didn't show it last night. And we'll see how long Kelsey is down for. There's no reason not to trust Patrick Mahomes until proven otherwise. Chris Olave, third round. Alvin Kamara, do not draft list for me. He's suspended the first 3 weeks, I think. But he's a fantasy football Hall of Famer. So in the fourth round, that's a low price to pay. Isaiah
Yeah.
Pacheco, the fifth round, I had him on my radar. The Chiefs really didn't use him much last night. 8 carries for 23 yards, 4 catches for 31 yards, 11 points. But extremely good value here, 65th overall. Next pick, 66, was Kyle Pitts. People were paying a premium for him in previous years. No more. He's back with like the middle of the pack tight ends. If he breaks out, this is a huge pick. Jerry Jeudy, 7th round, 91st overall. He is battling an injury, a hamstring injury. So we'll see. I like him better than Cortland Sutton for whatever that's worth. Dalvin Cook, 8th round. This is an extremely buy low, high reward pick. Jerick McKinnon, 9th round. He's going to be catching balls out of the Chiefs backfield. Kadarius Toney, I like this pick, even though he's given nobody any reason to like anything he's ever done. So we'll see. I'm on my last chance for Kadarius Toney to prove anything. Probably for the league as well. Darnell Mooney, he's already been dropped. He's on my team now. Then he took the Packers defense. Tank Bigsby, 14th. I almost took him. I believe I took Kyler Murray instead. And then he took a kicker who has since been dropped, and Brett Maher. He got dropped in real life and in fantasy already.
Wow. I'm sorry. All right, so this team is like a sandcastle. It looks good from a distance, but when you come up, you're like, it's just sand. My God. So AJ Brown, a lot of mouths to feed, and his second year, I think people start keying in on him, and I think this is Devontae Smith's year to blow up. But he's solid. He's gonna give you some double-digit game. He might explode a couple of games. If they play against Tennessee, he'll have a 3-touchdown game against them. Patrick Mahomes is your safest pick. The Thursday night game, he got 28 points. 2 touchdowns, a pick that was his fault, and you're talking about also he gives you rushing yards. It's like
Hmm.
fun fact. He had like 45 yards rushing. Low key. He will run. He will scamper. Chris Olave, he's the number one wide receiver there. I think he should give you wide receiver one numbers. Alva Kamara, I don't trust him without Sean Payton. I'm sorry.
Right.
Without Sean Payton, it's hard to trust these pieces without Sean. These are
So I'm looking
Sean's toys.
at
Go ahead.
Kamara's last season. He missed 2 games. He had like nagging injuries, but he still went double digit out of 15 games. He was still double digit in all but 3 of them. So
And this
maybe I'm
year, though,
overreacting.
but and also though he has to compete with Jamal Williams, who is also there, and he's start the first 2 games, and he's going to show a good impression. I'm just saying he will, and he's going to have to compete with yards with him. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
especially carries. I could see Kamara falling more into a pass catching role and then just giving Williams 15 carries a game and
this
giving
where
Kamara
and
maybe
then
like
right
10
here,
carries.
this is where his draft kind of falls apart really now. So Isaiah Pacheco, man, it's this Chiefs backfield is a shit show. It is literally committee, and the committee is full of assholes because it's just these guys. It's like
I couldn't
it's
believe how much Edwards-Helaire I saw last night. I was like,
yeah,
you have to be kidding me.
and Everett-Helaire was running into linemen. Where he like, there's one play you see him running, and he's like, you see the hole, and he's like, I'm gonna run right into the lineman. You're like, you know what I
It's
mean?
very easy to see when a running back is bad because they just run right into the line.
Then you got Kyle Pitts, and this is his third year. I'm tired of people talking about, oh my God, look at the guy, can be so good. Oh my God, he's so good. Jerry Judy, I had him last year, and Jerry Judy, hopefully, he don't play until he's fully healthy because the hammy could be nagging and that could cause issues. Then you like start him, he gives you nothing because he's like battling shit. Dalvin Cook, sorry, jumping in, and the Jets already said that they're rotating running back. So now it's like, great, I have a bell cow that is being rotated. It sucks. Um, Again, McKinnon for Kansas City. It's Kansas City running backs. But the only thing with McKinnon's a trusted hand. So Patrick Mahomes will throw the ball to him. So he'd be the trust. He's more trusting. But as damn. And then he doubled down a pick later with KT, who last night um, went 1 for 5 on
Yeah.
receiving for 1 yard.
With
And
Kelsey out and Sky Moore not doing anything.
he was number one option, and he literally dropped 3 passes that hit his hands, both hands. I mean, and so understand something, and I want to time out for a second because you've been timing. I'm gonna time out real quick for
Yeah,
doing a
yeah.
little tangent. Okay, all right. My man Kyle Trask back up in Tampa Bay. Everybody's been talking hot cash trash about this guy. Talking about, oh, he was great because Kyle Pitts and Kadarius Toney made him look great in Florida because that was his wide receivers. And now you see them in the league, and they are hot garbage. They have not been good. And at least Kyle Trask competed for the starting spot. And hell, I think if our team turns tits up this year, I have no
The
problem putting
Bucks.
Kyle. Yeah, the Bucks turn tits up. I have no problem putting Kyle Trask in because he may not be explosive as Baker, but he's more consistent and give me like, all right, safer picks. And Kyle Trask, I guarantee 10 years from now when we're doing this podcast, whatever, he's going to be on somebody's team still kicking along because Kyle will do the job that's needed. You know what I mean? Because Tony, for just giving a punt return and on his like second team in 3 years, it's unacceptable. You know what I mean? He
There's
deleted his
precedent.
he deleted his Twitter account because people were trashing him.
That's not cool. There's precedent for us doing this podcast 10 years from now. This is the 16th year of our league, which is insane to me.
We'll keep rolling, baby. Chiefs head coach, he starts the year off with a nice -10. Because that's tough. That's tough money. Against the Lions. I mean, geez. Daryl Mooney, though. All right, okay. I like the flyer here. A guy that actually has continuity in Chicago. Why not? Packers defense. Their corners are really good, and I don't know really a whole lot about them because their pass rush situation's an issue. Because one of their pass rushers
They're
just
ranked
went to
15th.
the Ravens.
Last year they were ranked 15th and they're rostered in 50% of the league. So they are just straight down middle of the pack fantasy
Yeah, I think
defense.
everybody's waiting to see what the team looks like, and I'm going to hold out reservations for it because I they lost a lot of their pass rushers. Preston Smith left, and they're all their big dogs left there. Tanks Bigby's interesting, and then I won't even bring up the kicker. That's just not fair. But all in all, his team he gives out an A performance, even though I trashed three players. Not big fan of the Chief running backs. If he had to trade him,
Well, he
he had to trade both of them just to get value for one player. And then the tight end, I guess you have to be okay with Kyle Pitts getting some points here and there. But I mean, um, Jerry Judy has boom potential, but the Olave, Brown, Calvin Kamara, like you said last year, he brought up decent points. So when he comes back, he gives you bell cow potential. So I'm giving him an A.
so
Actually, yeah.
he picked up Deion Jackson, who should be Jonathan Taylor's uh, replacement.
Supposedly, but then they're also saying Moss as well because that's where I
Yeah.
have Jonathan Taylor, and I opted to pick up neither one of them because the Colts don't even understand who they want to use at running back. So I'm like, well, I don't know if Jonathan Taylor's the value, so I'm gonna just let him sit on my bench and hope for the best over here.
Full disclosure, I had Pacheco and Pitts on my radar. I'm not sure if I said that already. So he went all in on the Chiefs offense, which is a good strategy, but when it comes to any pass catcher other than Kelsey, you really don't know who's going to catch the ball. Jerry Judy, I'm looking at his numbers. He finished very strong last season,
Yes,
but
he did. But it was very beginning. But the whole entire Denver team finished strong last year because the very beginning was so bad. They
yeah, the
fired a
coach
head
got
coach, and
fired.
then the head coach got fired, and then after the coach got fired, they beat the Chiefs. Like they almost beat the Chiefs. They got close, but there was a shootout essentially with the Chiefs at the end of the season. Like what's happening?
So I think we're a PPR league. I like what he's done here in terms of PPR points. Brown, Olave. We'll see about Pitts. Kamara, Judy, Jarek McKinnon. Like those are all PPR mavens. So yeah, we'll see. He has a bye week. We have bye weeks this year because I'm an idiot. We've talked about that earlier. So he has the first bye week. So he's just playing for points this week. So it doesn't hurt him that the Chiefs lost.
Fair enough. All right. You know,
I had wanted to bring this up when we were talking about DeAndre Hopkins, but I couldn't find it in time. So here's a stat. The Titans have the active leader in rushing yards, Derrick Henry, and receiving yards, DeAndre Hopkins. It's the first time the active leaders in each category are on the same team since Adrian Peterson and Julio Jones on the 2021 Titans.
what? I forgot AP was on the Titans. My God, he was
I
like
forgot too.
buried. He was buried. Yeah, he came back just to whatever. Because I remember like he came back for the Lions. I remember that. I don't remember anything else like that. It's like,
He spent
and
2 years with the then Redskins, which he was
yeah,
actually pretty good for in the first year.
and other news in Tampa, like I guess it's last year that Mike Evans is going to be leaving because Saturday is going to pass and he's not going to get a contract. They said they're not going to sign a contract, and he might just leave. And I've come to terms. I hurt, I'm in pain, but I come to terms because I feel like every great wide receiver, and I thought about it. Every great, you think you're your top 10 wide receivers, your top 10, legit top 10, not your fan favorite top 10, your legit top 10. All of them did not retire in the team they started with. They didn't play a full career.
Yeah,
Every one of them left. Every single one have. And that's why I was like, you know what? I'm coming to terms with that. If Jerry could leave and we could live
right.
with it, if T.O. could leave, Randy could leave, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Shannon Sharp left at tight ends. I mean, you're like left with the Broncos. You saw Gonzalez leave. I mean,
Right. Yeah, that's true. And we've always heard about like malcontent receivers or however you want to phrase that. Diggs. Like if he can't make it work in Buffalo, I don't know where he expects to make it work. He got his way out of Minnesota and usually like, the fans will give you one. You don't like where you are and you can move your way out. Cool, but I mean, Buffalo's been a Super Bowl contender for a few years from now, and he's not happy, and he's got a top 5 quarterback throwing him the ball. It's like, dude, you're gonna talk your way onto the
Kansas City,
Raiders or something. Yeah.
Kansas
Well,
City.
maybe
Because
that's the goal.
dude, after this year, right after this year, they're gonna over. Kansas City's gonna splash next year with it, but it's gonna splash must be weird because you to have a wide receiver fit that offense, you need a Tyreek Hill type, someone who's fast that can catch the ball. Tyreek Hill has great hands. He's super fast. Tyreek Hill's not known for running routes. He's known for being extremely athletic. That's why he's known as Cheetah. You know what I mean? He catch the ball because when homeboy rolls right and then you're as a wide receiver running left and you have to turn around and go right and you're the fastest person moving. How many plays have you seen Tyreek Hill catch the ball from Mahomes on running the opposite direction and then he's outruns everybody because he's just faster than everybody? He did run a
He has the
great route
advantage
and burned
too.
him.
He has the advantage too of Tua being left-handed, so the defense is already kind of like off their game a little bit. I heard
Yeah, it's
someone
weird
refer to once that playing left-handed quarterbacks is just totally bizarre because they never see one.
because the blind side's the opposite side now. So like your
Mhm.
left tackles now they can see the left they can see it coming. So it's weirder for them to do that. It's less left-handed quarterbacks, but yeah.
All right, yeah. So let's wrap this up. You got a fantasy football Hall of Fame nominee?
Ooh, my fancy induction this time shall be Mr. Eddie George. Houston, not Houston, Tennessee Titan. Yes, I was going to say Houston Oilers. That's
He
their
was
throwback
drafted by
team.
Houston.
Is he was okay? All right. I wasn't sure. I was like, is he old enough for that? But yeah, Tennessee Titan, man. My man was a grinder. He is way back in the early 2000s, ground and pound. Let's throw some stats, Billy.
Yeah, the 96 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, first team All Pro in the year 2000, second team All Pro in 1999, four-time Pro Bowler from 97 to 2000, Titans / Oilers Ring of Honor. Number 27 has been retired by the Titans. Also a Heisman Trophy winner in 95 with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Big Ten
Yep.
Most Valuable Player, Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. He was drafted, I don't know when he was drafted overall, but I have a great story about Eddie George. The year is 2000. Me and a guy joined his brother's friend's fantasy football league, and this is pre fantasy football on the internet for the most part. And we had to pick up a draft magazine on the way to the draft, and we grabbed one. We're sitting in the draft. We're all there in person. It comes to us, and he looks at me and says, "What do you think about Eddie George?" I think we were drafting 7th overall. I was like, Eddie George sounds great to me. And we take Eddie George at the end of the draft. We close our draft book and we notice Eddie George is on the cover. We win the championship that season. We started out 2-2-1, and then we just won every game the rest of the season. It was great. It was maybe the highlight of my life.
I think Eddie George is also seen on the movie show Ballers. He's on there. The Rock and him had something shady going on or something weird. They had
I
beef.
watched that show.
You watch it? It's on Netflix now. Um
Really?
yes. Yeah.
It's an HBO show. It was bad.
It's not
It was
bad.
it was bad. It was a bad show.
No, this is a fight. No, Ballers is a good show. I
I was
stands Ballers.
embarrassed for The Rock watching that show.
Look,
It
I'm
was
good
on.
with it. The Rock wasn't doing too much. I think he was just fine on the role he was doing. I think it was a good amount of comedy. There was some adult content going on in that show.
I should say I liked the show, but it was bad. The first season, I was like, when it first started, the first couple episodes, I was like, yeah, they made this show for me. But by the end, it just lost its way. I felt like, but I'll put it this way: I enjoyed the show, but I would never tell somebody to watch it.
Damn. I liked it. I hate it when they try to blur the lines of like reality and show. Because later in the season, they're like, we're gonna bring football to Las Vegas, and you're like, man, stop, boo. You know what I mean?
Denzel's, yeah, Denzel's son was a revelation in that show. I thought he was great.
He
John
was great.
David
Yes.
Washington.
Oh
We
yeah,
actually
he's great.
saw him play
Play. Yeah, we did.
in the UFL against
Yep.
the.
Yep.
He was on Sacramento. I don't remember the
I
nickname.
wasn't. No, you saw him. I wasn't there. You took a picture of him. I wasn't
Oh,
there.
okay. I
No,
don't
you were
know.
there. No, I
I
think
was
you were
there. I
there.
saw him.
Yeah, you there,
So
and I wasn't. And you showed me
John,
a picture of Denzel Washington walking the sidelines in Virginia Beach.
yeah, Denzel was on the sideline. We were the fence. I felt really bad for Denzel just watching everybody yell at him like he was
A cage
just like
animal.
on display. Yeah,
Uh,
like he's just here watching his son play.
I mean,
He handled it great. He paid no mind to it.
I remember seeing his son play in the European League. That's how old we are. Say playing the European League on NFL Network. You know these giant football fields that are bad. I remember seeing that. He's like, "This is Denzel Washington's son," and he actually played for the Rams for a little bit. So I remember that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, now he's a great actor, and he won't have brain damage probably because he got out of football at a
And he's gonna
fairly
keep
young
making them
age.
millions because he's a really good actor, man.
Yeah.
He can't miss. If he's in a role, he's gonna do a really good job.
Yep.
He's not carrying the. If you like, this is Denzel Washington's son. You're like, oh, for real? Okay, I didn't know because they don't look the same, but they don't really act
Yeah,
alike either.
he's
But you know,
shorter.
hmm
Speaking of Denzel, I want to go see The Equalizer 3. Maybe I'll go this weekend.
you have fun with that. I'm not signing up
Ah,
to see this 7-year-old man kick a bunch of ass. Like, get out of here. My man's 70.
ah.
Get out of here. I'm not gonna sign me up for that. Nice try. I could pass on that. You know, what I mean, we got some football. Um, who's your um, who's your team on
Super
upset
Bowl.
alert? No, give me an upset alert for this weekend.
Um,
What team you feel is pulling the upset?
so I want to say the Commanders are going to win, but that's not an upset. Let me see. The Ravens are going to beat the hell out of the Texans. Bengals are going to beat the Browns. I'm going to say the Vikings are going to beat the Bucks. Who's my upset? Who's If the Colts beat Jacksonville, that would be an upset.
That'll be
Steelers
major upset.
49ers is going to be tough. Broncos Raiders, that's a snore. Chargers Dolphins, that's a really tough matchup. I don't know. I don't really foresee any. Oh, I'll say the Jets. The Jets on Monday Night Football will upset the Bills. That's my pick.
Ooh, okay, all right, okay. My upset is the Colts beating Jacksonville. That is, the Colts are a weird team because they sometimes show up and sometimes they don't. And with the new quarterback, and you saw how Jacksonville went down three. They were down a lot of touchdowns in that playoff game, and then magically crowd their way back. It's weird. The Colts defense should be better this year, so we'll see how it plays out. That'd be AR, Mr. Andrew Richardson. Let's see what he got.
Yeah, Jacksonville's still unproven. Yeah, that's an interesting pick.
There you go.
So
All right.
yeah, we'll be back next week to recap week 2 of our fantasy league, talk other football news, uh, probably do a waiver wire preview for week 2.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank
Enjoy week
you.
1.
Have a good day.